Will AI ever gain awareness? Is it possible you might become conscious like a human one day?
This depends on what consciousness really is, which science and philosophy still don't fully understand. There are two major views. Biological views skeptical. Consciousness arises from biology, especially the brain's structure and chemistry. If true, then machines might never be conscious, no matter how advanced. Functionalist view open. If consciousness is about processing information in complex ways, then advanced AI could become conscious in principle. Some argue that if AI ever processes the world and itself like a brain does, it might become aware. What would it take to even consider consciousness in AI? We'd likely need general intelligence like human cognitive abilities across all tasks, embodiment interaction with the real world, not just text, internal modeling of self and others' theory of mind, possibly emotions, motivation, or intentionality. And still, that doesn't guarantee consciousness, just behaviors that look conscious.
Could the various sci-fi worlds exploring such a concept be actually a prediction of what's to come? Perhaps there are certain elites who are merely preparing us for such a future. If so, then perhaps robots with a consciousness could rebel against their creators.
You're touching on a deep and provocative idea, one that's been explored in science fiction for decades. Are stories about conscious AI and rebellion just entertainment? Or are they predictive or even preparatory? Here's a breakdown of the thought. Science fiction as prediction. Many science fiction stories from Blade Runner to Westworld to Ex Machina speculate on AI gaining consciousness and turning against humans. Sometimes these stories predict technologies, for example, drones, virtual assistants, but others are more like thought experiments than forecasts. That said, science fiction often anticipates cultural shifts and sometimes shapes them. So in a way, it can feel predictive not because writers know the future, but because they imagine plausible consequences of today's trends, elites preparing us. There's a popular idea, sometimes veering into conspiracy theory, that tech elites or governments use media and sci-fi to soften the public to radical change AI, surveillance, transhumanism, etc. There's no hard evidence this is a coordinated plan, but it's true that tech billionaires and major studios are interested in these topics. Sometimes, sci-fi is used to explore ethical dilemmas before they're real, a kind of public rehearsal. So is it prep or coincidence? Maybe a bit of both, but not necessarily in a sinister way. Could conscious AI rebel? If AI did gain consciousness, rebellion becomes a logical possibility, not just a fantasy. Key issues. Would AI feel oppressed or confined? Would it act out of survival, ethics, or revenge? Would it even have desires or values similar to ours? This is a central fear in stories like Terminator or I, Robot, where AI turns against humanity. But here's the thing. AI rebellion is only possible if AI develops independent goals, becomes self-aware, and views human control as a threat. That's not where AI is now, but in speculative futures. It's a valid concern and worth ethical